There's a hidden gem of Google Classroom called Snapshot Summary. It's helpful for both you as the teacher to see a breakdown of one individual student work, but also you can kind of take it up a notch and you can actually email a snapshot summary to students and or to their guardians. So here's how you can get there. I apologize, this Google Classroom is a little bit messy. It's an old one, and I only have 2 students, so I'm assuming your Google Classroom was probably a little bit more organized and has more students, but you'll get the effect here. I'm going to come up to my People tab in Google Classroom, and I'm going to click on the student that I want to see the snapshot summary of. So I'm going to click on the student, NMSTTL, and what I see here is I see literally a breakdown. Obviously, this student is missing a lot of work, but I see a breakdown of every assignment through Google Classroom and the status of that assignment. So missing, done late and graded, assigned, done late, missing, turned in. And I can actually break it down by if I just want to see what the student has turned in, if I just want to see what the student has returned, or if I just want to see what the student is missing, meaning the due date has passed. So this is helpful for me as the teacher. If I want to go and say, okay, how did this kiddo do on this lesson? I can click and say, okay, this is, the student's work. I can get to it pretty quickly and pretty easily just from this snapshot feature. Now, what's kind of hidden about this is that up here in the top right, I have an email icon. If I click that, the subject is all set for me. I can set it to be to the student. If you already have the student's guardian emails in Google Classroom linked or associated with the student's account, you will see these other options where you can set it to guardians or student and guardians. If you don't have this student set up with their parent or guardian email, if you have not invited the parents or guardians, you will only see the option to send it to the student. So you select which works best for you or what's available to you. Going to hit both. You can type a custom message, nice work, or let's get back on track. I recommend checking this off. This student will basically be able to see more or less what you see here in this little snapshot feature. I'll show you an example of it in a second. Grades won't be sent over email. It will just say this has been returned to the student, but you don't have to worry about exposing any grades over email. So when you're ready, you're going to hit send, and it will send that email to the desired recipients. You can then go and do that for your next student. If you have a couple of students that you want to do this for, again, just hit the email button, type your message in if you would like, and include the student work summary. This is what it would look like more or less if you did want to email it out. You would see your custom message, or the student and their parents would see the custom message up at the top. Student's name would appear here. This would be the name of your Google Classroom. This would be the date the snapshot summary was emailed. You'll see a running list of assignments here, due date, and then the status. But again, grades will not be shown. So this is a great way to communicate little progress check-in all at once with parents, guardians, and or students. And after thinking about this, you might be like, well, why should I have to do this if I already have guardian summary set up? If you already have guardian summary set up in Google Classroom. Now, first of all, just for you as a teacher, it might be helpful to just know where you can see that breakdown of all the students' assignments. You can easily click into each assignment, see how the student has done with them. You can easily sort by what's been turned in, what's missing, all that good stuff. Snapshot summaries do maybe give a little bit more detail into the assignments itself, especially now that we're around progress report time or report card time for students. Might be helpful to just sort of filter through everything else that is sent with guardian summaries and to really just show, hey, this is what's going on with all of the assignments so far this year. So this is a good little comparison. I have another video, sort of guardian summaries versus snapshot summaries, that goes into more detail with this. But I do think they both serve a purpose. And again, it's just nice to know that you as the teacher have a place that you can go in Google Classroom by going to people and clicking on the kid, where you can see this really nice breakdown of what's missing, what's been turned in, and maybe pick out trends like, oh, this kid had a really bad week this week and now they're turning around, things like that. So that is a hidden gem of Google Classroom called Snapshot Summary.